Good morning, student. I hope you are fine in this wonderful morning. So today we are going to study a new topic, that is plastics and environment. So student, plastics is major problem in our environment. Plastic are not environmental friendly because it causes pollution and damages the health of plant, animal and human beings. Plastics causes soil pollution, air pollution, water pollution, etc. So they need to be properly disposed so that they do not cause pollution and diseases. All the plastics are not decomposed by microorganisms. On the basis of decomposition by microorganisms, material are of two types. The first one is biodegradable material and the second one is non-biodegradable material. So we will understand one by one what is biodegradable material and what is non-biodegradable material. So the name biodegradable is obvious from its name. Bio means living or microorganism and degradable means to decompose. Once again, bio means living or living being or microorganism and degradable means to decompose. So the material which can be decomposed by microorganisms are called biodegradable material. So such kind of material which can be decomposed by living or microorganism is known as biodegradable material. The examples are cotton, wood, etc. So these are biodegradable material which can be decomposed by microorganisms. So such kind of material is called biodegradable material. Now we will see the second one is that is non-biodegradable material. This one is also obvious from its name. Non means not. Non means not. Bio means living or microorganism. Degradable means to decompose. And material, you know what is material? So those material which cannot be decomposed by living or microorganism are known as non-biodegradable material. You can see what is written on board. The material which cannot be decomposed by microorganism are called non-biodegradable material. Means to say that those material which cannot be broken into smaller pieces and converted into soil, such kind of material is known as non-biodegradable material. So once again I will repeat this non-biodegradable material. What is non-biodegradable material? The material which cannot be decomposed by living being or microorganism are known as non-biodegradable material. So the examples are plastics, metals and glasses. So these are the material which cannot be decomposed by microorganism. Now we will see what are the disadvantages of plastics. So plastics is the major problem in our environment. It causes lots of pollution and diseases. So it has lot of disadvantages. Though use of plastic in our daily lives makes our work convenient and easier, but it has lot of disadvantages which is hazardous to environment or living being. So we will see what are the disadvantages of plastics. The first one is disposal of lots of plastics in our drains causes choking of drainage system and finally leads to waterborne diseases like cholera. So when we use plastics and after using it we throw it in drain. So accumulation of lot of plastic in our drain causes choking of drainage system which finally leads to waterborne diseases like cholera. We will see what is written on board. Disposal of lots of plastics in our drain causes choking of drainage system. So student, when plastic accumulate in our drainage system, it causes choking of drainage system which leads to storage of water in that drainage system and causes waterborne disease like cholera. So our second point is plastics also choke. Plastic not only causes pollution in environment, not only harms to us human being, but it also harms to aquatic animal. Plastics choke the respiratory system of aquatic animal and leads to their death. So student, some of the plastics made material also goes to water bodies like river, lakes, ponds, etc. The aquatic animals living in those water bodies consume these materials which choke their respiratory system and ultimately leads to their death. So student, this one is also written on board that plastics goes to the water bodies, and when these aquatic animals consume those plastics, these plastics choke their respiratory system, and choking of respiratory system ultimately leads to death of that aquatic animal. Third point is manufacturing of plastic involves consumption of large amount of petroleum, which is an exhaustible sources. Student, as you know that petroleum is an exhaustible sources. But manufacturing of plastic cost lot of petroleum, and plastics are made from petroleum, which is an exhaustible sources. Petroleum is an exhaustible sources, and ultimately petroleum will vanish. When petroleum will vanish, it will not the fulfill of human beings for different purposes. So petroleum is an exhaustible sources, and manufacturing of plastics ultimately causes the exhausting of petroleum. It will vanish, petroleum will vanish, and thus the plastics causes lot of pollution and disease to us human beings, animals and plants also. So these were the disadvantages of plastics. So student, just now we have discussed that plastics has lot of disadvantages which causes harm to health of human beings. We have to develop the habit which are environmental friendly, and this can be done by adopting 4R principle, which are. So student, what are the steps or measures to keep public place clean and free from plastic? The steps or measure to keep public place clean and free from plastics is to develop 4R principle. The 4R principle is use of 4R principle. You can see on the board. So what are the 4R principle? The first one is refuse. The second one is to reduce. The third one is to reuse, and the fourth one is recycle. So what is the refuse system? 4R principle. What refuse says? It says that we should try to avoid use of plastic as much as possible. We should try not to use plastic. Instead of plastic, we can use other thing also. So we should try to refuse the plastic bags. Instead of using plastic bag, we can use jute bag. So the first is that is refuse. We can use jute bag instead of plastic bags. The second one is to reduce. We should try to reduce or to decrease the use of plastic as much as possible. Instead of plastic bag, we can try other option also. There is jute bag also, paper bag also, cloth bag also. So we should try to decrease the use of plastic bag. The third one is to reduce. We should try to use such kind of plastic, or we should try to use the used material again and again, so that it do not cause accumulation or choking of our drainage system or cause pollution to our environment. So we should try to reuse those plastic material or plastic bag again and again. That is reuse. The fourth one is recycle. What does recycle says? We should use such kind of biodegradable plastic which can be recycled again and again, so that it do not cause pollution in environment and waterborne disease like cholera to animal, plant and human beings. So these were the 4 steps so that we can keep our public place clean, and public place clean and free from plastic. The 4 principles were refuse, reduce, reuse, and the recycle. From these 4 steps, we can keep our environment safe and clean. So student, very soon on 24th or 25th, our school is going to organize a unit test. So unit test portion is chapter 2nd and 3rd. So you should learn all the multiple choice question. Your question will be from multiple choice questions. So best of luck for your unit test. Thanks.